Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is May 27th, 2020. It is Wednesday. Before I get into the video, I just want to remind everybody I will be live streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I would ask you to join me then for that. And I'm sure we'll discuss the topic that I put up yesterday and other things as well. I'm not sure what I'm going to have for the main topic, but we will be discussing all kinds of stuff. So, all right, I got to kind of do a, well, first I wanted to let you guys know before I get into what I'm going to talk about. I have a engineer coming today because we're going to do the design and the paperwork for this addition that we're going to put on here. So they're actually on their way now, and they'll be here within the hour. So trying to get this all squared away so, you know, I can give that information to the zoning for, or not, what do you call it? Well, it's for the town, so they have the design of what I'm doing and, you know, how it's done and stuff like that. So those guys are on their way out here, but so we're going to do that in this area and, you know, get it all squared away that way. So I wanted to say that first, okay? So now let's get into, all right, yesterday's video, my second video. Now I'm going to tell you what, I'm always going to admit if I say something wrong or if I do something wrong. Now I'm not stepping back on what I said from yesterday, but I'm going to talk about a couple things and I'm going to give an example of something as well. All right, so I had not watched the video before I did my video of the incident, of what they show of the video. It's I saw that it's like an 8-minute video of the guy down on the ground. The cop had his knee on the guy's neck. The guy was struggling a little bit at first, saying that he couldn't breathe in those type of situations. Okay, so I did watch the video, and I'm going to agree that the video was very, very disturbing. Once you have the situation under control, you're supposed to, as a police officer, decelerate the situation. Now, that all 4 police officers were fired, you know, obviously through the investigation, they'll investigate the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, the police officer that had his knee on that gentleman's neck for that length of time should be charged, because he did not decelerate the situation. Even after the guy stopped struggling, he stopped moving, the crowd was saying, he's not moving, take your knee off his neck. He still kept his knee on his neck. Okay, so obviously there was a serious issue with that whole situation. So that guy was 100%, like I said, 100% in the wrong. He should have been fired. I agree. Charges should be brought up on him. I agree with that as well. But I'm going to stand by what I said. I'm going to double down. There's more to this situation than we know, because when people act a certain way, they don't comply, things will definitely escalate. So when you have an individual that is not complying, that's not doing as they're told, okay, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to tell you what, guys, if I was sitting there and a cop came up and they said to me, you know, get off the car and come here, or whatever the case may be, I'm not going to refuse that, because again, if this gentleman had complied and did what he was told, he would be alive right now. Okay? Now, a lot of people in the comments tried to turn this into a black and white thing. This is not a black and white thing. If you watch the video, the 2 officers that I saw was the officer that had his knee on the guy's neck, who was white, and the other officer who was not facing them, that was facing away towards the crowd, was Asian. Okay? So it's not a racial thing. Everybody always wants to try to turn it into a racial thing, because they have fanned the flames, you know, with the media, because the media perpetuates things a certain way. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Are people profiled? People are profiled every single day. I have talked of incidences where I have been profiled because I ride a Harley. I have a certain look. I look a certain way. So I have been pulled over for absolutely no reason, and the guy was searching for something, and guess what? There was nothing there. I cooperated with the police officer, okay? I did what I was told. You know, I even gave him my information when I didn't have to give him my information because he had no reason to pull me over. I talked about that incident. I went down around a monument down in Caledonia, New York, and I had a yield sign, which I yielded. He pulled me over to tell me how it was dangerous and I needed to be careful. Oh, and then, by the way, can I run your license, you know? And I'm like, absolutely. Showed him my license and registration. You know why, guys? Because I had nothing to hide. I had nothing to hide. I fit a profile. He pulled me over for that profile. I cooperated, and guess what? I got to go home, all right? Everybody wants to buck the system, and as soon as they get their butt handed to them, then they want to cry, okay? Now, in this situation, unfortunately, it resulted in the gentleman dying. But again, and I will say this again, I would like to wait and see what the toxology report said. I would like to see what the rest of the situation was if these police officers had body cams on there. Why would it take 4 officers to have to subdue somebody? Those are things that I would like to see. That's what I was talking about last night. Then all of a sudden it became the big attack. I did lose a bunch of subscribers, but again, if you are that weak-minded that you can't agree to disagree, then you should go, okay? Had a lot of people tell me how disappointed in me they were. You know, what the cop did was 100% wrong. I'm never going to try to justify what that cop did. Once you have somebody in handcuffs, why did they put him in the back of the car? Why were they, you know, I mean, if they had to hold him down, there's other ways to hold him down. You don't put your knee on the back of somebody's neck for over 8 minutes. That you don't do, okay? So in that situation, with what that particular officer did, was 100% wrong, okay? Never going to try to justify that, and was not trying to justify that before. But again, what I said, let's get the full story. Not the story that's put out there by the news media, okay? That little snippet of the news media that they put out there. What led up to it? What happened? Why did it get to that point, okay? I'm going to tell you a story. My cousin's probably going to be mad at me, okay? My cousin, who was white, by the way, folks, lived in Rochester, New York. He had gotten some kind of altercation. The neighbors had called the police because him and his wife were having a verbal altercation. So the cop shows up at, or the cops, because they never come alone, show up at his house, and my cousin picked the cop up and physically put him out the door of his house. Now, guess what happened to my cousin? The cops whipped his butt. Big time. And you know what? They didn't say, oh, well, sir, you're white, so we're going to treat you differently than we're going to treat somebody who's black. That's crap. You don't play by the rules, you get your butt handed to you, regardless of what color you are, okay? Now, again, was my cousin in the wrong or the right? He may have felt that he was right in his head, that this cop didn't need to be in his house, and did what he felt that he should have to do. But guess what happened at the end of the day? He ended up in handcuffs in the back of the police car, and he got a mud hole stomped in his behind. Myself, on the other hand, I realized at a very young age, the cops can do whatever they want to do. Does that make it right? Absolutely not. Okay? Now, I'm also going to double down on something I said before. Okay? Modern day police officers, for the most part, are revenue collectors. I've talked about that. I have said that. And I'm going to say this again. I'm going to double down on this again. Not all cops are bad. Okay? All these people on here want to just vilify the police, and they're this, they're that, they're the other thing. Now, when I said they deal with the dredges of society on a daily basis, when you deal with negativity, drug abuse, stealing, people beating up each other, people beating up their wives on a daily basis, you become jaded. You do become jaded. I'm telling you what, having worked in a nursing home and worked in the field in nursing for years and years and years, you become jaded to death because you deal with death all the time. It becomes no big deal. Now that may sound horrible, but you become desensitized. That's what happens. That's what happens with police officers. They become desensitized. Everybody's looked at as a suspect. Okay, everybody is. Now, again, I will say this again. If this man had complied and done what he was told, he would be alive right now. That's it. That's the truth. Okay? That's not a white and black thing. It's just like if he had said, well, they were looking to see about, he matched us a description of somebody that had done a forged check. Now, did this guy do a forged check? I have no idea. Again, I don't have all the information. So again, I'm going to say I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I would like to see what happened, what led up to it. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's talk about something else really quickly. In a police report, will the cops go with each other on the same side and make whatever they say happened? Of course they will. They're going to cover their butts. That's what they do. Okay? Again, I don't know the whole situation. I never claimed to know the whole situation. Now, I had not seen that video before I had made my video last night. But I'm going to tell you again, I'm going to stand by what I said. I would like to know all the information before I jump to conclusions. Unfortunately, the end result was somebody died. Okay? Excessive force was used. I said that in my video last night. Excessive force was used. After watching the video and what that cop did, what he did was 100% wrong. 100% wrong. I have no justification for what he did. I'm not trying to justify what he did. Okay? At that point, at the end result, what he did was wrong. Okay? But again, I would like to see what the full story was. I'm not going to just jump on the bandwagon and, oh, let's hang all four of them. Let's put them all under the jail. Well, you know what? It was one cop that did the wrong thing. Now, the other cops are doing the one cop that I saw, I don't know about the other two. I don't know where the other two were standing. Did not see that. But the one cop was doing crowd control. Okay? So he had his back to that whole situation if you watch it for the majority of that time. Now, again, and I'm going to double down on this one, because if you don't believe me, I would like to have you come over to my house. I will choke you out, and you tell me if you can breathe at a certain point or not. I have been choked out. I was 16 years old. I was at a party. Guy got behind me. I thought we were wrestling. Ended up being what he probably thought was more serious, and he put me in a chokehold. And when it got to the point where I wanted to say, hey, I can't breathe, I couldn't talk. So if you can say I can breathe or I can't breathe, you can still breathe, okay? But this is what happens, guys. Everybody wants to jump to conclusions. They want to, say what they want to say. I'm going on, number one, life experience. I'm going on the experience of how I've dealt with police officers in the past. And again, they'll ruin your day. I will say that again. Look, I got Buddy down here rubbing on me. Yes, I know. I see you. I see you. Hi. They will ruin your day. So why screw with them? Comply. Do what you're told. Do you like doing that? Do I like doing that? Not always. Okay, but you know what? If I have nothing to hide and I have done nothing wrong, I don't care if I'm standing there drunk. If I haven't done anything wrong, why am I going to fight the police? Why am I not going to do what I'm told? They're going to find out that I'm not the guy, okay? So, again, all the people out there that wanted to turn this into a strictly black and white issue, and all the cops are, they treat... Okay, are a lot of blacks profiled? Yes, they are. Are a lot of Hispanics profiled? Yes, they are. But guess what? A lot of whites are also profiled. Yes, they are, okay? So, again, like I said, I'm going to double down. I'm going to say what I say. Again, this cop was 100% in the wrong. I'll say it again and again and again. I won't go off on anything else. I said excessive force was used. After watching the video, it was ridiculous what that cop did, okay? And he should be persecuted. And that cop should be thrown under the jail for what he did. Now, somebody in the comments said that he had been involved in 2 other shootings. I don't know about that, if that was true or not. I have no idea, okay? But again, he was 100% in the wrong, okay? But I'm going to tell you what. Cops will always have cops back. They're always going to watch out for each other. That's what they do. Because you know why? Nobody else does, all right? There's good cops, there's bad cops. And so you want to believe whatever you want to believe, that's fine. But and yes, I do believe, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Modern day police officers are revenue collectors. I've said that over and over again as well. I'm never going to back off on that because I believe that that's true, okay? But not all cops are out there looking to just try to screw with people. I don't believe that, okay? So, again, you know what? Coming from somebody who has been profiled themselves, okay? And oh my God, I'm a straight white male. How horrible that, my opinion doesn't matter. You know what? Whatever. You know what I mean? It just, I'm honest. I say it like it is. Oh, and let me double down on this again. For all you people out there, oh my God, he flies the Confederate flag. It's one of the flags he flies. He has to be a racist. I'm not a racist. I fly the Confederate flag is because the last time in this country where Americans stood up and said they weren't taking the government's crap anymore. That's why I fly that flag. You want to read anything else into it, that's your own ignorance, okay? Because you have been perpetuated by the media to think a certain way. So all of you out there with all that negativity and everything that you have out there with the whole situation, continue to listen to the media. Let them discern how you think and what you say and how you act and how you react, because you're doing exactly what they want. You're doing exactly what they want. They want to divide us. They want to conquer us. I have said right along, we need to stick together as a human race. Always have said that, okay? Because that's the only way we win in the long run, is if we work together. So, all of you out there who called me a racist or whatever, hey, you know what? Bye. See ya. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it like it is. If you like that, great. If you don't like that, too bad. Go watch Rainbows and Unicorns then. I'm going to share my journey here. I'm going to share my thoughts here. I don't deviate from the way I think. I don't conform to everybody else's view because it's not a popular view. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand firm in my convictions. I say it like it is. And again, if you don't like it, that's fine. I have no issue with that. Do whatever you got to do. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to talk about that and get that cleared up, if you will. But I got the puppies going around. So anyway, I am gonna jump off here, guys. Again, we can discuss this more in a live stream tonight, which I'm sure we will. 8 p.m. Eastern time, and so I will see you guys all then. Until then, remember, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. All right? Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.